it's time to go over some of the finer details.
Mend your ways.
Can you try it British? Okay.
Mend your ways. Governor.
What is it? National Treasure 2 part where you start saying things.
God. Yeah.
Oh, Bob's your uncle. Meat and two veg.
Meat and two veg.
Nipped off to the pub
To the pint.
A bit of all right.
I would have loved to see that ghost sound like that the whole movie.
Maybe you did, and they were like, whatever voice direction this film had was like, no.
Just go back to
Just do
I
your
can
own
do
voice.
a British accent. Can you? Can you? Christmas Carol, the movie, was released September 15th, 2001 at TIFF, but then got its UK release on December 7th, right in time for Christmas. Only in the UK. It went direct to video in the US. Never got a theatrical release here, which explains the fact that it costs. I did the math. What the pounds to US? It's $7.8 million was the budget. $7.8 million made $266,475.
Oh.
It even had like this Kate Winslet song actually charted on Billboard.
Really?
The only song in the movie.
I've never heard of
it
it.
seems so out of place and weird, but I guess that makes sense now.
It was, it's strange. It doesn't fit in the movie. And even Kate Winslet was like, I don't really feel like we need to shoehorn this thing in there. But they like did it at the end after the edit. They were like, we need to put a song or something in there. So
No, they didn't.
This little song is the only thing that was like that drew people into this movie, and it still didn't make any money. Directed by Jimmy T. Murakami, who has done a few music videos. Namely, he did a David Bowie video and a Kate Bush video. Mostly known for shorts. Over the years, he's done a lot of like animated shorts and stuff, which makes sense. Actually got an Oscar nomination in 1968 for The Magic Pear Tree, animated short.
Okay.
Yep. One credit, I'll point this out. He was one of the main producers of the original 1989 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated TV series, which is the greatest animated series of all time.
Cowabunga, dude.
Speaking as a guy who grew up right when Ninja Turtle hype was at its highest. I loved that shit.
Me too.
Also directed the Soft Landing segment in Heavy Metal. So it's got a few things that are known.
Interesting. How did he go from doing good work to this pile of shit?
How did he go from Heavy Metal to Christmas Carol, the movie? Written by Robert, I'm going to butcher this name, Llewellyn, L-L-E-W-E-W, or L-L-Y-N, Llewellyn. I think it's like, because like,
Yeah,
Robert Llewellyn. Okay. Anyways, written by Robert Llewellyn, who is best known as Crichton on Red Dwarf. If you
no way.
ever watched Red Dwarf, it's so funny.
Side note, I was watching this on Tubi, and Red Dwarf is on Tubi. I noticed that, and I almost started watching it instead of like watching Christmas Carol because I was like, oh man, I want some.
It's a much better show than Christmas Carol, the movie. That's for sure. He was the robot guy, the android dude on
That's funny.
Red Dwarf. He is also in this movie as Old Joe, the guy who wanders around and does errands for Scrooge and goes, yeah, every time he laughs for some reason. He doesn't have a ton of writing credits outside of Red Dwarf, which is interesting. But he does have a super popular YouTube channel, podcast, website called Fully Charged, which focuses on electric vehicles. And he's doing like events with it and all sorts of stuff. They have like a conference and all sorts of things. It's kind of like focusing on sustainable electrical, products that are out on the market and stuff, and kind of.
Oh, we should say I think his name is pronounced Llewellyn.
Llewellyn, Robert
Yeah.
Llewellyn,
Yeah.
like No Country for Old Men. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reference that I can identify. Llewellyn, Robert Llewellyn. Anyways, he co-wrote this with Pete Kroon, which is also it's Piet. I think is like the Pete Russian version.
Yeah,
Piet.
probably.
Yep. Not sure how he got a writing credit on this because he was a storyboard artist. He's only been a storyboard artist throughout his career, so I guess they gave him credit for coming up with some of the story because he was like putting things together in the storyboards. I don't know.
He was like, "Hey, you should add some mice."
Add 4,000 hours of mice to this thing.
I hope whomever added those mice into this never worked a day in their life again. I hope they're a greeter at Walmart now.
They were like, "Oh man, kids are gonna hate this. It's so boring. Let's just add some animals."
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was a
Shoehorn
marketing
in
ploy.
these fucking mice.
This guy, Pete Kroon, impressive list of storyboards that he's worked on, including The Iron Giant, which is classic, Shrek 2, Monsters vs. Aliens, did the first Despicable Me movie and not the 47 sequels and the money grab of the Minions after that. Rio 1 and 2, and recently did Ferdinand. Also directed the animation side of things, because usually with these animated films, there's two directors. There's one who kind of handles more of the actor side, and the other one is for the animators, like watching over the animation process and stuff. But he directed the animation for Osmosis Jones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Also, some guy named Charles Dickens wrote part of this.
Did the heavy lifting.
He did the heavy lifting. Yeah.
He wrote the fucking mice. No wonder I haven't heard of that guy.
The only thing that's not in the fucking story at all. Stupid mice. This was shot by no one. This is the first time we've ever had a episode without a DP.
Which is weird because there's a live action section.
Yeah,
There is, but I didn't see any credit for it at all.
that's weird. Not even. Interesting.
They were probably like, "No, don't associate me with that."
The guy's like, yeah, don't put my name on this pile of shit. Please.
Did you see what the mice look like at the end? Don't associate me with this movie, please.
I want to work. I'll never work again.
Edited by Martin Brinkler, who, aside from having a name that rhymes with sprinkler, hasn't done much of note, at least that I've heard of. But the other editor, Errol Bryant, has worked in the animated department for such classic creepy-ass movies as Watership Down. Great one. Heavy Metal, The Princess and the Goblin. So he's really specialized in creepy, unsettling animation that isn't supposed to be creepy and unsettling, I think. Even in this movie, it's kind of like something's off the whole time. I don't know why. It just feels weird. And like every character looks exactly the same for some reason.
Oh my
like,
god, yeah.
They were showing pictures of Marley on the wall, and I was like, why are they showing pictures of Scrooge?
Or they had like Scrooge's nephew and Cratchit. I could not tell the two
I
apart.
couldn't tell the difference between them either. I was like, wait, are they trying to say that he's his nephew in this version? No, they're two different fucking people, but they look
Yeah,
exactly
and then
the
after the fact, I was looking at the credits. I was like, "That was Rhys Ifans or Rhys Ifans played that guy."
yeah.
What the fuck?
It's yeah. I think that's one of the main criticisms of this movie was that there's just like no life to the animation aside from the annoying as hell mice who are the only ones who have any kind of like character movement and stuff. And they feel like they were, it's like Despicable Me wasn't supposed to have those minions in it. And I feel like this was the same thing where it's like, you got to put something in there for like toy distribution or something. This is a kid's movie.
Kids are going to like your brown, joyless rendition of Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
Every character just looks
dead,
like
empty
brown cutouts.
And then finally, the music was by Julian Knott, who is a British composer who is mostly known for Wallace and Gromit and Peppa Pig. Series did some of the movies as well for Wallace and Gromit. It's kind of a composer for hire. It seems like his credits are all over the place. Just kind of like whatever you need. Ratings. Not surprising. This movie got a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes. 4.3 out of 10, but only 8 reviews, so it's not a big sample size, but still. 8 reviews, what's that? 1 gave it a 6 or better?
Something like that, yeah.
Audience gave it a 48%, so not much better. Usually with these animated films, they give it the benefit of the doubt of like, oh, the kids liked it, so sure, we'll give it a 60, 70%. But 48% is like everybody hated this. Even the kids were like, this is boring, mommy. Did not get a Metacritic score. This was released in Britain, so I don't know how that works with Metacritic. Didn't get a cinema score either. But it did get IMDb, of course, because everybody can contribute to that. 5.4 out of 10. Which seems high. It seems high, yeah.
Way too high.
What a boring, terrible movie this is. This is one of the worst movies that we have ever done. It's hard because it's like it's animated.
Yeah.
And Cage is only in it for a couple seconds. So it's like, we're only doing it for this, so we can wear a Santa. Well, so I can wear a Santa hat.
And I can wear my unicorn Christmas
cup.
We got to do our annual Christmas episode somehow. So, Christmas Carol, here it is.
I feel about as connected to Christmas as this version of a Christmas Carol.
I've started to hate Christmas after this.
I'm sorry if anybody watches this on Christmas.
I'll totally be the Scrooge for this episode.